with a black woman, I have this in my mind before I even talk to you, she's gonna think I'm weird. And that bothered me a lot.
When I went to junior high school, I got bussed from Ocean Hill, Brownsville to Flatbush, and they spit on me and called me a nigger. They spit on me. And I was 13. And these were adults, not the children. So my point is this, that don't have nothing to do with who I am today.
What's good, Mind Speakers? If you click this video, you know that we have something to talk about. The topic today is, can you be pro-black and have a non-black partner? The short answer is of course yes, but there's a lot to unpack here. So let me first just tell you where this conversation comes from. Because a few weeks ago, Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, he drops This Is America, which a lot of people, I believe, overvalued it as far as the message. I think that there were a lot of different ways to take a message that should have been more direct. However, that's fine. People saw it as a huge pro-black anthem. But then the Shade Room comes out and they post a picture of Childish Gambino out with his wife and his children. I didn't even know he had a wife and kids, to be honest, but his wife is white. And then when people saw that, because Shade Room comments are where common sense goes to die, people not only didn't like it, but they started to doubt the message of This Is America, saying there's no way that you can be pro-black and you can be with a white woman. I know some people have said that Childish Gambino has said some things about women in the past, which I'm not exactly sure of, so I'm just using this as a loose example, because at the same time, the Meghan Markle thing was happening. Meghan Markle marrying into the royal family, and that wasn't seen as a negative thing. Childish Gambino marrying his wife was a problem, but at the same time, we were praising Meghan Markle at the same time for marrying into the royal family. Meghan Markle's a winner, but Childish Gambino was a sellout. And we see that often. Black men, when they date white women or non-black POCs, are often condemned, and black women are not really condemned. And so the smoke isn't equal. And why is that? Should it be equal? I'm saying no, it shouldn't be equal. The truth of the matter is, black women have not always been valued. And I know a lot of people try to act like that's not the case, that black men have always loved black women. That's not the truth. I'm gonna be honest, that is not the truth. We are now in a position in 2018 where we are starting to love ourselves and our people, but to be honest, the black woman has carried the brunt of that since we landed our black asses on American soil. That is just the truth. And that's why I don't think the smoke should be reciprocated, because that's where that comes from. And that's why when we see Serena Williams with her husband, we're happy. And it's not just because her husband is white and she needed a white man to save her. No, but the truth of the matter is, Serena Williams went most of her career being called a man and an ape and all other things, and seeing someone love her and value her and seeing her have a really cute baby, because this is an Olympia stan account, I stan that baby. Serena Williams in the public eye went through a lot of things that black women have gone through personally. So that's why the smoke is not often reciprocated, because a black man has not been undervalued or under-desired the way that black women have, and that is just the truth. But this topic is usually a big thing when it applies to black men of status, because like Kanye said in Gold Digger, and when he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl. This is not a new concept, okay? This is how we've always seen it. And we see that in like 4 out of 6 NFL players, but don't get me to start talking about the NFL and football culture and whiteness, because we ain't got time for that today. And Kanye is the one who said that, and he did it! Just because you date or marry outside of your race as a black man does not mean you automatically don't care about black women, or you don't value black women, or you don't value your people anymore. That's dumb, because you still have your entire life experience that you've lived as a black man. As human beings, we know you can't choose who you love. Love happens and connections happen, and sometimes they happen across racial lines. But there's something that we can't ignore when we're talking about this subject. In the black community, every single one of us has had some form of a run-in with self-hate in one way or another. We've all had to confront our blackness at some point in time, and that's due to conditioning. It's due to European beauty standards. It's due to the stuff we watch. And so that gets into our psyche at a young age. There's this common controversial saying on Twitter that says, straight black men are the white people of black people. And that makes all straight black men upset, because like, what the fuck, right? But you have to analyze it from this way. Queer black men, gay black men, non-binary black men, trans black men, black women, all of that, they know and they understand that they will never access whiteness. They will never access cis, straight, male whiteness. There's too many things that they would have to erase out of themselves, and being born a woman is one of those things you can never get rid of. They will never be a cis, straight, white male. No matter how they try to flip it economically, they're never gonna access cis straight whiteness, which is pretty much the key to privilege in America. But cis straight black men and white women only have one check against them to accessing that. They're like so close they can taste it, and therefore you get the 52% of white women that voted for Trump over Hillary, but you also get black men that are subconsciously obsessed with accessing whiteness. And once black men get to a certain point as an artist or financially or in the public eye, you now have access to certain women that might not have cared about you before. A lot of those women are white and non-black POCs, and dating those women is a way that some black men do passively satiate that need to finally access this straight male whiteness. And it's really the privilege that goes along with that everyone is obsessed with because of the structure of America. This is really America. And so when black people see black men of status having interracial relationships, breaking up with their black wives and ending up with a non-black POC or a white woman, that's what they assume. They assume that you are caught up in the game of now thinking, oh, you're on, so now all of a sudden you've accessed this new tier of success. Now all of a sudden you can share that with a white woman when your community is the one that built you up here. And so that's what starts the sellout argument. But that is not automatically the case, because we have to talk about something else. These men that get on, not the athletic types, because it just is what it is. We know the athlete story. You get on and it is what it is. But I'm talking about creatives. A lot of times those guys just aren't desirable, and not just to black women, but to anyone. A lot of times they're artists, they're loners, they're in art classes, they're in music classes. If you're a poppin' actor, you're in drama class. You're not the popular kid in school. And a lot of times these men that get on are dorks. They've never been the guy that has had all the women, or any woman of any case. I saw people saying that, oh, black women just don't like nerdy guys and you wouldn't have liked Childish Gambino and da-da-da. And I think there is truth to that, but a lot of that is a lie, because there are also nerdy black girls. But when Charlamagne explained it, he said, listen, none of y'all would have been interested in Childish Gambino, because when he first met him, he said he probably could have used the shower and he was really weird, and now his talents and everything about him is coveted, and it's amazing that he's coming to his own. But most people would not have been attracted to that man at his raw state. And so a lot of these men that do get on, it's a really crazy paradox for them in any way, because these artist type of men grow up being undervalued and don't nobody want that guy. They want the jock, they want the cute kid, they want the outgoing kid. They go from being the forgotten to being the one. Drake's early music is not about his experience of being the man. It's about being the guy who usually never got the girl, being the kid with feelings who was so in love and it just never worked out. But the truth of the matter is, just because you're in an interracial relationship doesn't mean your partner isn't also pro-black. Being pro-black is not specific to black people. You can be in a relationship with someone who isn't black as long as that person says, I agree with your existence, and they agree with you on certain political things that are about the advancement of your people, but they're also able to say, I don't understand this, help me understand. And you know what I mean? And that's personal in a relationship, and you cannot judge that from the outside. So a lot of you need to stop just judging things the way you see them, because that is not always the case. Just because your partner is not black does not mean they are not pro-black. And if it does go as far as marriage and you guys have kids, that doesn't mean you need to raise your kids to not see color like Kim and Kanye are doing. You can raise your kids to use their privilege and arm them with the knowledge to be able to advocate for their people. That's all you have to do. And I know a lot of people say you are what your mother is. That's because a lot of fathers aren't there for their children. So if you're a father and you raise your black kids to be black kids and you're a part of your child's life, guess what? You won't have those problems, because your child's connection to blackness is through you. So as a father, be a black father and you will raise black kids. So in short, can you be pro-black and date outside of your race? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that the other side doesn't exist. There are people who date outside of their race, especially black men, who do that because they are obsessed with accessing white privilege. And that's just the truth of the matter. But you need to be able to separate those people from the people who just happen to be in interracial relationships but still love their blackness and still love their people, and black women, because it's possible. So you let me know below, is it possible to be in an interracial relationship and still be pro-black? How do you feel about it? Don't be ignorant, because if you are, you gonna get sauced up in these comments, because I got smoke for you today. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If not, suck a dick, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Deuce. Before I even heard the song, I saw the cover art. And I was like, what in the Mr. Popo is this? Like, what? This can't be real. No shot. Drake is not giving me minstrel show. Yes, massa. When did he take that picture?